So I'm gonna title this I Agree with Grandma. I'm looking at this guy's channel and I like listening to him. He's called, the name of his channel is called Hood Boxing. Was it Hood Boxing Fitness Champion? Hold on a second. Let me minimize this to see the title. Hood Boxing and Sports. Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. I would say he's an older guy, but he's around my age, just a few years older. I guess he just turned 51. Um, and he uploaded this video titled "Wow, Grandma is a Clarissa fan and says light skinned people have it easy. YouTube destroyed black people." Um, I feel like he didn't really hear what she was saying. I just really feel like as she was talking, he was in this, and I like him. Okay, I like Hood Champion, but I mean, I'm gonna call it the way I see it, the same way he does. Okay, because he definitely is gonna call it how he see it, and I'm calling it like I see it with him. This has come from where he played Umar Johnson, and Umar Johnson said that he felt like black women were jealous of Clarissa Shields' relationship with Papoose because they see the way Papoose loves Clarissa. And he said, according to Umar Johnson, black women don't have anybody to look at them and treat them the way that Papoose treats Clarissa. I completely disagree with Umar Johnson. Now, I do believe that black women have a bad habit of getting jealous, especially of other black women who are happy. Um, but when it comes to Clarissa, I don't think they are jealous of Clarissa's relationship with Papoose. Because if that was the case, I feel like they would have been jealous of Remy Ma. Because Remy Ma and Papoose had that black love thing going for a while. Okay, I remember watching Love and Hip Hop years ago when Remy Ma was on there. I stopped watching it because I mean, as you change, you stop looking at certain things. I'm not even interested in Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore. I'm at the point where I try to force myself to watch that. It's just not what it used to be. You know what I mean? But that's what I. But it might not be these shows. Maybe I'm just the one that's changing. It's not them. Maybe it's me changing. But I remember watching Love and Hip Hop back then, though, when Remy had just got out of prison, and they were pushing Black Love and talking about how he came to see her all the time and how he held everything down while she was in prison, and everybody was just so happy about that. And I remember around that time, I think it was 2017, 2016, 2017. What's her name? Kaya. My back Kaya. It was after I think she had fallen out with T.S. Madison. It might have been that, okay? Um, but I remember when something was going on with Remy Ma, and Kaya was even talking about how Remy Ma have such a good man at home, and why is she out here worrying about all this other stuff when she should be, sucking and uffing, effing. Remember, you should be out here sucking and effing. Papoose, right? Because the what was put out there was he was such a good man to her. But were black women jealous of Remy Ma? Because if black women should be jealous of Clarissa, they should have been even more jealous of Remy Ma with that going wrong, because that was actually more believable. Nobody's really believing that Papoose is in love with Clarissa. Nobody's really believing that. Maybe Clarissa is. I don't think anybody else is believing that. But I will have to say, so I disagree with Umar Johnson on that. And I think Umar Johnson is just defending himself. Not that he's ever been married, but he defends. He's not against the kind of relationship that Clarissa and Papoose have, as far as him being separated, because that's what a lot of women bring up, that he's still married and you're with a married man. This is where I do have to call a lot of women hypocrites, because even though they're correcting what they're saying about Clarissa, constantly so many women, when I look at some of these people in their chats and I see them having 1,000 something views watching, or something, 200 people watching, and you have all these women call in wanting to criticize Clarissa because she was a married man. Listen, I wasn't born yesterday. yeah, you can say, and they saying that she's committed, and this is what I see a lot of women and men doing when they talk about Clarissa. They keep talking about how she committed adultery, but they're not saying that he's committing adultery. He's the one that's married. Why are they saying Clarissa is committing adultery, but he's the one that's married? He's the one that's committing. And you know what? Remy Ma also committed adultery because she messed with another man while she was married and still is married to Papoose. And she probably is still dealing with another man. But everybody want to celebrate Remy Ma. If you have a problem with adultery, you have a problem with adultery. So Remy Ma is probably committing adultery too. I think Papoose knocked out this Easy to Block. I don't know these folks, all right? I don't know what this man looked like. But I think Remy Ma was dating that guy, and she was still married. Okay. Anybody else? Did anybody say that Remy Ma was committing adultery? Everybody loved Remy Ma because they want to hate Clarissa. Now, and you know what? I think when people have a different opinion than everybody else, then they consider a Clarissa Shields fan. Well, I'm a fan of her boxing. I like her boxing. But anything else, I don't care about. Like, I literally do not care about this girl's personal life. I really don't care. I don't care about her personal life at all. But I do agree with Grandma. Okay, on what she was saying about why is it everybody else's business what this young lady is doing? And I'm reading the comments because the comments are posted on this video. It's a replay of the live that he did, talking about how Umar Johnson, his comments on Clarissa and how black women are so jealous of Clarissa. And this a 66-year-old lady called in, right? And I'm reading the comments, and they talking about, well, Clarissa put herself out there. Well, she did it. Just because she continues to put herself out there doesn't mean that you always need to respond to everything. See, that makes you no better than her. When you continue to respond to everything, you are no better than her. Why is she always triggering you? I'm like, literally. You know what I mean? So I get what she's saying. She's saying it's not our business. I get if you talk about something once or twice, something is news, right? And he's like, oh my goodness, you talk about it once or twice, a few times, talk about it. But literally every single time Clarissa Shields goes online, no matter what she says, every time she goes online, people upload, men and women upload their videos with something to say about her. She made a video where she made some spare ribs, some short ribs, and I guess she put whole lemons on it. I don't know. Instead of cutting them in fours, people uploaded videos about how she did not know how to cook, right? She ate some chicken and rice, she ate some chicken and rice. People talking about what she put on her plate. She had she uploaded some stuff about, see, it's the little things like that, right? Now, her slapping Alicia Baumgartner, I can see how so many people talk about that, right? See, stuff like that's just like, wow, like, what the hell just happened? I can get that. But when you talking about her worrying about what she eating and how she eat with her fork or her spoon, you making videos of how she dancing on her Instagram and she dancing to a song, and you making a video of her dancing and she look like she doing uppercuts. See, stuff like that, you nitpicking. Like, it's like, I get what she's saying, because every single thing that she does, every single time she goes online, somebody has to talk about it. This latest one is that she's in Aruba. She thinks she's still in Aruba, and somebody messed up her makeup. And people thought it was colorism. People thought that she bleached her skin. So people made videos about, did she bleach her skin? She clearly said that she sat in the chair for 45 minutes and this man messed up her face. You know what? And I want to sidebar right there. That sounds like some witchcraft to me. Why somebody mess up her face like that? That sounds like witchcraft. She better off not having no makeup. If they were going to do her face like that, they should have just left the makeup off, because her skin looked better by itself than what was on her face after she was finished with that makeup. She was better just not even having on makeup. Okay? But anyway, so she clearly said, and people said, no. Some people just wanted to call it skin bleaching or whatever, and some people wanted to argue that she did that herself, and because she don't know how to put on makeup. So what? It was so many videos making a big deal about how messed up her makeup was. And at first they were questioning that she was lightening her skin because you had this stuff, a lot of this stuff going on with dark skin people, how they lighten their skin and stuff. But now we see that she was telling the truth. It was a messed up makeup job, either done by her or done by somebody else. But if she did her makeup like that, if she does her makeup that bad, then we would have been seeing her in other previous videos where her makeup looks just like that, and maybe she didn't bring some makeup with her. She's not that feminine like that. She's not that feminine. She didn't grow up putting on makeup. That's not how she grew up. And the only time she does get dolled up is when she's going out somewhere, because she is a professional boxer. Most of the time, other than her being with Papoose, most of the time she was probably in the gym training. She don't get dolled up like that. She's not a champion. She's not a world champion for nothing. She's in the gym working. Now, I don't think she's in the gym like she used to be. And her fight, she got a fight coming up, and I don't think she need to underestimate this lady. This lady might not have as many wins as her, but she might not want to underestimate her. If this woman knows that she is about to fight Clarissa Shields, this woman is working hard, because Clarissa Shields is a world champion. And not just she's a world champion. That girl, Clarissa, can box like none other. I have not seen any other woman that boxes like Clarissa Shields. Now, I've seen men who can do what she can do and even better. Okay, I have seen men, but I have not seen any other woman who boxes like Clarissa Shields. And that's just my opinion. So this lady, that's about to go up against Clarissa soon, she knows who she's going up against. She's going to work 2 to 3 times as hard as she has done with her other fights. She's going to train 3 times as hard for Clarissa, because Clarissa is not like anybody else. But I don't know how serious Clarissa is taking things. And I hate for this lady to knock her out. So when I talk about Clarissa, this is the type of stuff I talk about boxing. I talk about boxing. Just like any other commentator talk about sports, I talk about boxing when I talk about Clarissa. But yeah, I want to briefly play, because she says some of these women are lying. They want to get up in here, talk about how Clarissa's committing adultery, and hop on her case about how she's so wrong, and they're hypocrites. And I know that, because like this lady is 66. I wasn't born yesterday either, and Hood Champion know that he know better. And a lot of these men who either married men or single men, why they acting like they never cheated on their wives? Now that's not to give Clarissa that's not to give Clarissa a pass. That's not to give Papoose a pass. That's to call them hypocrites. Like, why are you acting like nobody else cheats? Why are you acting like no other woman? And Clarissa is with a man who is supposedly separated, right? That don't make it better, but at least in her mind, he is single in her mind, right? Well, hell, some of these women who called in mess with the married man who is actively living with his wife and keeping a secret from his wife. Like, she's literally somebody that he sees on the side and keeps her hidden. Some of the women have been with married men where they have had to be hidden, and he would go back home to his wife. Okay? So some of these women are worse than her, because in her mind, she thinks she with a single man. Okay? Now, we know on paper he's still married, and he can't make a full commitment to you until he get a divorce. But they spend a lot of time together, okay? So, in her mind, she feel like this man is free. She feel like he's single. He's not single. And he wants to put a baby up in her. That's what he said. He said that on DJ Vlad. That's not Clarissa saying that. He wants to get her pregnant by 2027. He wants to get her pregnant. Okay? He said that on DJ Vlad. But he ain't trying to marry her. Why does he want to get up? She's young, her career, she's just at the top of her game, and he wants to put a baby in her. See, I have a problem with Papoose. Not him personally. I feel like I see what he's doing, and I feel like he's a warlock. And I feel like he's purposely wanting to hold her back. Okay, this is not to make Clarissa Shields any kind of a victim, but I do believe in a way she is a victim, because I believe that Papoose is such a strategist. He's such to me, I think he might be brilliant, and I feel like he's such a, what you call it, he's a puppet master. It's another word I'm looking for, but I feel like Papoose is a puppet master. I feel like Papoose is a handler. I feel like Papoose is a Wendy Williamsing. I feel like Papoose is Wendy Williamsing Clarissa Shields. That's how I feel about Papoose. Now, but if this is just a case of her dealing with a man who's separated, but he's still married on paper, so he's not completely single, whatever, let that go, shit. Whatever. Okay, whatever. It ain't right, but is it my problem? No. But what a lot of us, what some of us are seeing, and Jaguar Wright actually called this out too, right? I remember Jaguar Wright saying this, but I was thinking this before I heard Jaguar say it. This is another Wendy Williams case. He is her manager. He might be her handler. And something's going to happen where Clarissa might be deemed that she cannot take care of herself. And he might have power of attorney over her or whatever. It might be able to take everything from her. See, I see this going in a bad direction with Papoose. Okay. But yeah. The grandma talked about why is everybody just commenting? They making videos and talk about every little thing she does. And so Hood was like, "Well, let me ask you: do you think Clarissa's right? Do you think Clarissa's right in what she does?" She said, "No." She said, "I think that she talks too much. She needs to get off the internet or whatever." And okay, but see, the thing is, that's true. But do other people think that they are in the right, that they make a video every time they see her go live? They feel like they need to go live and make a video about her eating a piece of chicken, about how she's cooking some spare ribs with whole lemons or whatever she was doing. Okay, does that make them right? I mean, they are just as bad as she is, and that's what this lady is saying. This woman, the grandma. That's what is titled on this video, Grandma. That's what she is saying, is that these people are no better than her. Why do they feel the need to go live and bash her every single chance they get? And I read the comments, and they say, "Well, she do it to herself. She going live all the time. She do it to herself." I told you the black community is a whole parasite. The black community is a whole parasite. Okay, they will suck your energy up. They will suck you up. I'm telling you. If Clarissa, I mean, just because she goes live every 5 minutes does not mean that somebody else needs to go live right along with her. Don't they have their own lives? Don't they have don't they have any creativity of their own? Can't they talk about something else besides of continuous videos of Clarissa? And let me tell you something else black folks did, because I know it's mostly black folks. So Amanda Serrano is a boxer from Puerto Rico, and she was on Netflix. Her boxing, she was the undercard of Holmes and Hand, right? She was the undercard, right? And she boxed Cheyenne. I'm getting the names wrong. She boxed a woman named Cheyenne. Anyway, so Amanda Serrano is a veteran. Like, she's been boxing for 17 years, but she's been in the combat sports for longer than that, because she's been in MMA, jiu-jitsu, and all that stuff. But she's been boxing for 17 years, and she has 48 wins. About 4 losses, 3 of those were to Katie Taylor. But and I feel like Amanda Serrano might have been cheated out of at least one of those trilogies with Katie Taylor. I feel like Amanda Serrano was cheated out of one. But with all of her accolades, Amanda Serrano's not out like that, right? Out there like that. She just boxes and will do whatever. But when Amanda knocked out Cheyenne, okay, and she matched Christy Martin's knockout record, right? She matched her knockout record because that was her goal. I want to know. I'm thinking this was under Amanda's Instagram page. it was on some Instagram page where everybody was congratulating Amanda and saying you're the real GWOAT, because Clarissa calls herself the GWOAT, GWOAT, and everybody was down that doggone on Instagram under that page clowning Clarissa and just saying whatever they can say about her. 31, Amanda has 31 compared to Clarissa's 3 knockouts. Okay. Well, I can see, but Clarissa calling herself the GOAT, and you have somebody else that has 48 wins, and she doesn't even have 20 wins up under her belt yet, right? That means she hasn't had 20 professional fights up under her belt because she has not lost. So that means she has not had 20 professional fights, and she calls herself the GWOAT. And I get what they're saying that Amanda has had 48 wins. Okay, but my point is that why couldn't that just be about Amanda? Why get on that Instagram page? Because I think that page might have belonged to Amanda Serrano. Why get under that page and completely just talk about Clarissa Shields? Like, your mind is not even about celebrating Amanda Serrano. Your mind is on tearing down Clarissa Shields. But while you are wanting to tear her down, you're still making her a superstar. Like, Clarissa Shields is still the star. Like, this lady just made a major accomplishment. And people can't find anything else better to do besides compare her to Clarissa Shields and talk about Clarissa all down the doggone timeline. Clarissa. I don't understand how Amanda is supposed to be flattered by that. You're not even celebrating her. You're taking the time on her big day to talk about Clarissa Shields. Even though it's negative, you're giving Clarissa Shields attention when she's somewhere in Aruba, minding her business. That should have been Amanda's day, and people made it about Clarissa. Okay? They are that focused on her, and that's why I call him a parasite. I call him a parasite. But anyway, let me see if I can. I'm gonna play just a piece of what this lady said, and then I'm gonna click on off of here. Or hopefully, it'll be okay for me to play it. Some years old, I noticed her relationship. Need to stop talking about Clarissa Shields. But once you listen to the conversation, it's very entertaining because it just jumped all over the place. But check this out. Yeah, how you doing? Yes, the volume about to come up right now. To talk about Clarissa Shields. Okay, what you got? So I've been watching YouTube for about 7 years now, and it's just so much stuff that goes on YouTube, and I watch a lot of content creators speak about this woman and her relationship, and I'm just wondering, why do people care so much? What business is it of ours to judge her so much in her relationship? She's not committing adultery. I heard a lot of people say, oh, she's committing adultery. She broke up a home. She's not committing adultery. She's committing fornication. The same as a whole lot of other women in the world who are not married. We all, men, women, commit fornication. Papoose is the one who is committing adultery because he's the only one that's married. But I'm just trying to figure out, why is it so much hate for her? Dr. Umar may have a point. He may have a point. Because we, as Black people, are very envious and jealous of others. And this is something that I know, as living as a Black woman 60-some years old. I know this. I've seen it. And I know how women are. Everybody loved Remy so much that they can't get over that relationship, that they hate this girl because she's happy with him. There are a lot of white women and men that go together, that one of them is married and the other one's not. But we don't care about that. That's not news. YouTube has
made us look real bad. For me, watching YouTube for so long now, there's been so much hate and vitriol amongst us black people.
So I'll stop it right there. She said a whole lot, but it's called "Wow, Grandma is a Clarissa fan and says light skinned people have it easy. YouTube destroyed black people." That's the title of it. And the guy's name is Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. And like I said, I like his channel. I'm actually subscribed to him because I watch other content of his besides him talking about Clarissa. And he don't bash her, okay? But you do have people who call in that have a lot to say about her. But I look at some of his other commentary too because I actually follow boxing. So I look at his other commentary too. But I just felt like saying that little part right there. I agree with what she says because it's not defending Clarissa. She's not saying that Clarissa is right in the things that she's doing. What she's saying is what business is it of everybody else's to constantly, nonstop make videos about her, bashing her. Like, people are making just as many videos about Clarissa Shields as they did about Diddy. And this is the same thing I said about Diddy. I said, I know he did a lot, but constantly judging somebody and bashing somebody, when you have your one finger pointed at somebody else, you have three fingers pointed right back at you. So, like, you gotta be careful. Now, what I said was what Diddy was like, what that saying is, do not rejoice when your enemies fall. And that's in the book of Proverbs. Do not rejoice when your enemies fall, because the Most High may turn his wrath from that person and turn it right back on to you. He'll turn this is what the Proverbs say, right? The Most High I don't call the Most High a he. This described as a he in the Bible, but when I talk about the Most High, it's not a he. But I'll say just how it is in the Bible, okay? That God will turn his wrath from that person and turn it right back on to you. You see what I'm saying? So just because Clarissa is out making a fool of herself or whatever she's doing on Instagram or whatever, should not give people the right to consistently get online and talk against her every chance they get, because they're making themselves look just as bad as her, if not worse. Because Clarissa might be looking crazy, but at least she minding her own business. Everybody else feel like they need to get in her business to have something to talk about. Why can't they find something else to do with their lives? Now, a lot of people making money off her name, so a lot of people can't let it go because they are making money off her name. Okay? But but still, you do take a risk when you upload something to roast somebody, tear somebody down because it's making you money, you get a lot of views. You still kind of hurt yourself spiritually when you do that. So yeah, you might be making some money, but spiritually it's going to be a cost. To me, it seems like it'll be a cost spiritually. But anyway, that's it, and I will talk later. Alrighty.